What's up guys, and welcome back to Jules Creates. Today I am teaching you all about the best practices on when to shoot with your phone vertically and when to shoot horizontally, because there is a best practice on which is best for which scenario, and I know it might be confusing. So I'm going to teach you which way you should shoot under which circumstances and which platforms. Before we get too deep into that, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and then hit that bell so you'll always know whenever I release a new video every single week. I also still have my free course, Amplify Your Gram. In that course you'll learn everything we do here today, plus more, and it is absolutely free to you. Get that link down in the description box, and that course will be sent right to your email. All right, guys, let's hit it. I'll be teaching you about two platforms today. I'm going to teach you about Instagram and about Facebook, and the best practices on vertical versus horizontal for both. I'll also be going over the 4 different types that you could be posting. We have a photo you could post on either Instagram or Facebook, a live video on either one of those, a pre-recorded video that you could then post to Instagram or Facebook, and then a story for either Instagram or Facebook. So I'm going to show you the best practices on both of those platforms on those 4 different types of posts and how you should record them. All right, let's start with Instagram. This is my favorite platform, so let's start there. We're going to start with our first thing here, which is a photo. When you're posting a photo to Instagram, should it be vertical or horizontal? So on this one, the answer is both. You get to choose, but I am going to tell you that I lean towards a vertical photo on Instagram, and here's why. When you are scrolling through the feed on Instagram, you will see that a photo that is vertical is going to take up a lot more real estate. A lot of these are squares, but here's a vertical photo that's taking up a lot more real estate versus a horizontal photo, which is taking up a lot less real estate on that screen on your phone or your iPad. Your goal is to take up as much of the screen as you can. So you want to make sure and post a square or a vertical photo. A lot of times I just stick to the square, but you can see here, this is a square, but this photo originally, this was a horizontal photo, and I didn't want my face to be smaller, so I made it into that square. I can't make it into a vertical photo, but I can keep it in that square. Whereas this one is more of that vertical, it's already taking up more space. So when you're posting on your Instagram grid a photo, my recommendation is vertical, but again, you can't necessarily go wrong with the horizontal as well. So in this case, it's going to be either. Next is that live video, live on Instagram. So when you are watching a live or a story, you will watch it in vertical format. When I click on someone's story, I'm watching it in vertical format. If someone has one sideways, you're like, oh, and you're a little bit irritated that you have to change that screen to that other direction. So when you are recording a live video, it's that same thing. So if I click on the live button, it's going to be right here on my screen, and everyone else watching it holds their phone the same way. A lot of people do not hold their phone this way when they're looking at Instagram. They hold it this way. So you will want to make sure that when you go live on Instagram, you are in vertical format, so that way everyone else watching it naturally will not have to turn their phone. They will not have to do anything but just sit there and hold their phone as they normally do. Instagram story is the exact same way. You view them in vertical format. Almost everyone does. If you're watching these stories, you're holding that phone in that vertical way, and you're watching a story, and all of a sudden someone has it sideways, you're like, oh. And on stories, you only have 15 seconds for that person to view it. Of course, they can go back and tap the back button and go again, but they only have 15 seconds to see it. So you want to present it in the way that is the easiest for people to use it, which is that vertical format for IG stories. This is where we're kind of going to mix it up a little. For a pre-recorded video. So right now I am recording this video on my camera to then post on my YouTube. So this is a pre-recorded video that is serving a later purpose. These I always film horizontally. These can be used in many different ways. So think about the ultimate purpose, but my rule of thumb is if I am sending a video clip, or if I am taking a video clip to send in to someone who's making a video, or even making it for myself here in my home, if I am doing a pre-recorded video that I can edit later and then post either to my feed or my stories or anything, I shoot it horizontally. So now I know that does kind of go against a little bit what I said. If my ultimate goal is only to post it on stories, then that basically makes it a story and you change it to vertical. But if you are using this video for other purposes and it's a pre-recorded video, always shoot it in horizontal. And then that kind of breaks those rules. If you then post it to your grid on Instagram, you can make it in a square format, and that way it still takes up a lot of real estate and it's not tiny with the edges cut off. All right, guys, let's head over to the Facebook world and see what those rules are. Facebook is totally different than Instagram. Instagram is primarily only photos, and they're almost always in that grid format. Facebook is totally different. You can kind of do anything with those photos. So let's start with a photo. If you are posting a single photo or even a group of photos to Facebook, what is the best practice? So best practice, whatever you want. All bets are off on this Facebook. So on our wall, I have a lot of my videos posted, but you can see I have photos posted as well. This photo is a square. I pulled these over from Instagram, but I have absolutely no rules when it comes to posting a photo on Facebook. You can post it in that horizontal form. You can post it in a vertical form like this, me looking for an Apple Watch. It doesn't matter because people will click on it no matter what, and it will be viewed as it is correctly for the most part on Facebook. So you get to choose if you want that vertical or horizontal. If you're pushing them over from Instagram, they'll usually take that square format, which is just fine as well. Facebook Live can actually be either. Unlike Instagram, which you are constrained to that vertical format, because Instagram is viewed in vertical no matter what. Even if your phone rotate lock is off and you rotate, Instagram doesn't really rotate like that. So Facebook does. So as long as you have that rotation lock button off and you're in that Facebook Live screen, if you rotate it, you'll see that it rotates with you. So once I hit that live button, everyone that's alerted that I'm going live will see this live video as I have my phone rotated. So if I have it rotated horizontal, whereas I do right now, I can see all my logos and icons are at the top and it's looking in the correct format. If I switch it now, those icons and format switched with me. So now it would rotate to this vertical direction. Now I do not recommend doing this during a live video, but I would stick to whichever one you choose, but you actually can do both, whereas on Instagram you can't. So Facebook is a little more, I don't know, you can kind of choose on this and just go with whatever you want, but whatever you choose, you stick with it. Now the only thing you cannot do is if you have that screen rotation lock on, which I do all the time. I like it in my vertical format. If I then rotate it horizontal, you'll see none of that switched with me. So now if I hit live right now and someone wants to see it, I would be sideways for them. And that is not ideal when someone is watching your live video. Stories on Facebook are very similar to Instagram stories. In fact, you'll find that most people are actually making their stories on Instagram and then just pushing and syncing them over to Facebook. My cat just grabbed something off the counter and ran away quickly. But they're basically the same thing. So when you pull up that Facebook and you click to create a story, you can even go to show. I don't even know how to create a story on Facebook because I don't use it. But you can create that story in that same way. Nope. Add story. Here we go. Is a vertical photo is going to be what's best. This is that video I just made, but you can see that that vertical is going to be what's best. It's pulling from that same platform. In fact, Facebook, Facebook owns Instagram. They bought them. So it's that exact same platform. So whatever applies on that Instagram applies succinctly to Facebook in this format. And this is the only one that really applies one-to-one. Whatever you do on IG, you do on Facebook for stories. Pre-recorded videos on Facebook are identical to Instagram. If you are making a pre-recorded video, it does ultimately kind of depend on the purpose. If it's meant for a story, then it of course becomes a story. But if it is made just as pre-recorded and you're editing it, or you're making a clip for someone to post, or people are sending you clips for you to edit and then post, you always want it in that horizontal format for a pre-recorded video. Every editing software is going to put that in horizontal format. Think of it like a TV show or a movie. Widescreen is where it's at for a pre-recorded video. And when you post on Facebook, now it can be viewed in either way. But if you are making it as a pre-recorded video and posting it to Facebook, it's going to look best if they're all the same and all in that horizontal format. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell so you'll always be alerted when I have a new video come out. And still, same thing, don't forget about my free course, Amplify Your Gram. That is free to you. If you liked everything you learned today, you'll learn even more in that free course. All right, guys, I will see you next week.